Hey guys, how's it going? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Zach Ginn here.
And we are going to break down today the top 10 wholesaling tools that we use on a daily business in our 7-figure wholesaling operation. We're going to break down the top 10 ones here today, and let's bring it off from number 10.
Awesome.
Number 10 here that we use on a daily basis here. This is probably one of my favorite ones, and that is GSuite. I think that I use GSuite every single day for wholesaling. I think our whole team does, but it is just essential for us right now, right?
Yeah, so just to understand what GSuite is, just the paid version of Gmail, and it allows you to basically collaborate between email, your Drive. Why is that important? Whenever you got to send pictures, if you got to upload contracts, if you want to use Google Sheets or any type of Google document, it's all online. And so I don't have to send you emails. Yeah. You don't have to send me, and we can share the whole thing. I find it super convenient, and I get no ads too.
It's crazy. Like that's the number one thing. First of all, you can use GSuite or the Google family of products basically for free if you're a solopreneur. We have a bigger team, so we have Google Drive. We upload all of our contracts in there as a backup, all of our pictures. Everything is really in there, and it's really essential for us. We do all of our P&Ls for our properties that we flip. Literally everything we do is within Google. I mean, the cloud is, I love Excel. I think you like Excel better, but just everything being synced up is so much better.
Yeah, I'm a little bit old school, but I will tell you the problem I have with Excel when you're trying to share with team members is you constantly have to save it, you have to upload it, attach it.
Yeah.
Google or GSuite, we have the ability to actually, you can see me when I'm working on a document, and I never have to save it. I never do anything. The bottom line is it saves a ton of time. So if it can save me time for a nominal expense, I want to do it. So you can collaborate. You can now do meetings. You can do absolutely everything in-house. So if you guys like the Google product, I highly recommend.
You can do it for free too.
You do it for free.
Also, this is another big one. All of our data is stored on Google too, because I have it all stored on my personal computer also. But let's say that computer, it gets wet, there's a roof leak, whatever, and that computer's done. That's not good. And anywhere I can just log in my Google account, all the phone numbers that we have skip traced, hundreds of thousands of dollars we've spent, all of our list polling, everything is on Google. It's great. It's the cloud. It's backed up. It's safe and convenient.
I like it. It's simple for me. It took me a while to sign up for it. Once we did it and I saw how efficient it was and how much time we saved, and then God forbid a computer crashes, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it. We tried the hard drives for a while, and you're constantly buying and upgrading, and technology gets better. Guys, simplify your life, save yourself time. You want to do deals. You don't want to spend time like messing around with technology too much.
It's crazy. Next year, number 9 is something that I use on a daily basis. And this is, I think, something a lot of people really need to start implementing is Facebook. And no, this isn't you on Facebook watching David Goggins videos or, all the fun stuff or
fishing videos,
old hurricane highlights from the 80s. I'm actually talking about not the fun stuff on Facebook, not your grandma giving you a recipe for something. It's going out there in Facebook groups and networking with people. I think Facebook, I use it every day. I network with so many new places. When I go in a new virtual wholesaling market, I go to a Facebook group. I can network like that. Facebook is almost essential right now. I can pull so many cash buyers from Facebook. I think it's a tool on the belt that most wholesalers need to be doing right now.
It's extremely powerful. So when I started out in this business in 2003, it was the amount of hands you can shake. And that was it. The amount of hands you shake, I can tell you how much money you make. Today, it's not so much handshakes. It's definitely not likes, but the ability to connect with anybody, forget the country, worldwide.
Yeah.
Realtors use it, show properties. If you guys didn't learn anything like during the whole COVID time, is you had the ability to show properties, to show contracts, whatever you need to do, and you had to get creative. Facebook was an alternative for it. And I love it because you can connect with anyone. So go find like-minded people who love to do wholesaling houses for real, for example, stuff like that. And you can be part of a community. And they always talk about like the 5 people you associate yourself the most, you become alike. That includes anyone you can connect with on Facebook as well too. Some of my best contacts have come through Facebook.
It's crazy. It's insane the amount of connections that you've made through Facebook. It's a great. I've connected. I mean, we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in JV only from Facebook. I just think not a lot of people are doing it. I know a lot of the younger kids my age, they're like, oh, Instagram where it's at. Facebook's got
It's
the
where your
people with the
sellers
money.
are.
It's where your sellers are.
And
yes.
think about, even with motivated sellers, how many times you get ghosted or lose people, can't track them down. We like to use social media, particularly Facebook, to, when we find a motivated seller, we can get intel before we go on an appointment to find out what their likes are and build rapport with them. And every now and then we use it as a connection with people, just to, hey, John, I've been trying to get a hold of you. What happened? And for some reason, they read those messages on Facebook. So maybe he's got you blocked on text and he forgot to block you on Facebook. So don't forget, it's a great way to track down and hunt your motivated sellers.
It's true. Most people will answer their Facebook message. It just pops up on their phone. It's the same thing as a text, honestly.
It truly is. And they forget to block you on that one. So if they blocked you on a text, you can use it like that.
Okay, so the next one here is something that we don't use too much, but I used to use like crazy when I started out. You didn't have this. I don't think it was even out when you started. This was YouTube. I think everyone needs to still be on YouTube today. YouTube's a great connection piece. You can still build networking connection, but honestly, just sharpening your sword. You're watching this on YouTube. Obviously, you're becoming a better wholesaler, using YouTube as a free education source for wholesaling. And I think it's still one of the best ones out there, and everyone still needs to be on YouTube, constantly learning more information.
Yeah, so YouTube should be your new TV. That's how I look at it. So
YouTube can be dangerous though too. There's
can
cat
be.
videos and there's wholesaling videos.
Well, but if you have a purpose and say you want to research like wholesalers, I said make sure you're getting advice from someone's shoes you want to be in, and then dig into it. But I love the ability to have the control the settings. I can watch it 2 times the speed. I do really well with that. If you're new and paying attention, you probably want to slow it down. Yeah. But if you want to get through information twice as fast, go to 2 times. And it's really cool what you can do with that. And then they have tools in there where you can do subscriptions, you can do groups, and you can categorize it. So I understand. I still use real estate. I have a lot of friends I connect with, and I keep up with what the trends are going around the country. That's why I like YouTube. It's really simple. You get a notification when it comes up, and you decide who you want to get information. So it's not uncommon to have 10 or 12 people I like. Yeah. But then I'll narrow it down to like 2 or 3, like, okay, these guys or these gals are serious. I like working with them. They've been in the business the long run. Yeah. And that's how you utilize it. And then have fun with the YouTube stuff. If you want to like find all the funny, silly cat videos and stuff like that, just understand it'll take you down that rabbit hole. But if you are precise with YouTube, it's amazing. You can learn absolutely anything on YouTube. It is, in my opinion, it's completely changed how everybody learns. And you guys are taking advantage of it right now.
Boom. Exactly. The next one here that we use for virtual wholesaling is Dotloop or even Docusign. Just getting contracts done virtually. It's been a lifesaver for our business.
Yeah. So I don't know how to open the dang program, but I tell you, everybody in acquisitions on my team uses it. The ability to virtually sign is absolutely amazing. And now virtually signing is great for sellers. We all realize that. Number 2, I pretty much demand it from my title company. So if you've proven yourself and you have a history of transactions, ask your title company to set you up. Mine does it. They all don't do it. I've only found 1 or 2 in my area that do it, but it just makes my life. I never go to a closing. Why do I go to closing? Because I don't want to negotiate with anybody. So everything's set up and it's ready to go and it's phenomenal. And now there are some services where you can do a virtual mobile notary, much more challenging, but it's a much more detailed process. But if in the event you have to get a signature notarized, if someone will take the time, provide the proper ID, and have a third party validate it, you could actually do them online now through like a Docusign. Now, not Docusign exactly, it's a third party service, but it's out there. I got stuck on a fishing trip and I actually got the whole thing done doing that. So it was it's like a 10-minute process, but I think as time goes forward, that will be the trend, and there'll be like a lot of security issues with it. Absolutely utilize it. Ask your title companies. Make sure part of your acquisition process, you have the ability to virtual sign, because your customers will start, in case you just send me a Docusign, you don't want to be the guy who goes, oh man, I got to go sign up now. So have it in your tool. I mean, great tool.
Next here is TruePeopleSearch.com. I love TruePeopleSearch.com. Just off the fly, you want a quick skip trace for free. TruePeopleSearch.com is it. Like you can't get better skip tracing for free than that.
Okay. Well, so I'm not a true people search type of guy because I don't know how to use it. But back in the olden days when I did it, we used like Spokio. It was $10 a month, but this is actually free. So
it's crazier.
It's budgeted and the data just gets better and better, guys. Yeah. So before you start paying for stuff, and you got to do when you got to do 2 or 3 people, I think you go online, use TruePeopleSearch.com, boom. Because a lot of times we're just trying to connect with people.
Next here is we use this basically most of the leads that we get in is MailZock.com. We use MailZock.com. That's where we get a direct mail from. I mean, we use the OfferPostcard.com that they got on there, the ROS postcard. But MailZock.com is where it's at. Like that's where everything, like all of our direct mail is at. It's the cheapest. It's the best. Those guys out there, Justin's great. But MailZock.com, that's where we get most of our direct mail. I would say close to 80% of our deals are coming from MailZock.com and direct mail, right?
Yeah. As things change, a lot of you say, hey, well, isn't the cost of mail going up? Yeah, but there's less and less people getting into it, so I have a captive audience. I remember the old days. I used to have to go there. We actually, you might remember we were small. We ran an actual like print house in one of our rooms.
I remember that.
It was disgusting. There was machines running. It ran all night. My wife complains. Zach's like, what's that noise? And then I teach Zach how to load the machines. And let me tell you what, I have walked the walk of what a printer does. Now, fast forward today, we spend our time on pulling lists and coming up with marketing budgets. And when I go to actually do the mail, I think I click 3 buttons, literally 3 buttons, send the list, and it's done. It's absolutely amazing. Justin over there, it's a trusted service we use, and we want you guys to share in it. No longer the days where you have to print. Guys, if you print your own mail, if you print past 300 or 400 pieces, you're losing money. Yeah. It's cheaper for them to do it than you do it, and I'm telling you, that's from a lot of experience. So utilize it. It's absolutely. When we go to order, it's less than 3 or 4 minutes tops.
That's it. And it's usually half a cent cheaper per postcard than any other service. So
by far, and then they send you a proof. We make sure everything's correct. And then you have the ability to do amazing things with it. You can split up your mailings. I tell people, if you're doing a larger list or something like that, break it up, especially if you're a one-person army. You can't take 300 phone calls like over a weekend and stuff like that. So you can spread it up to 2 batches, 4 batches, 6 batches. You can easily call them or send them a message and do it like special, however you want to do it. It's absolutely amazing. You have the ability to get like return mail all in a spreadsheet for you. So those old days of those big stacks, scanning it, sending it to a VA, you can get it done for a very nominal fee now. I mean, it's all at your fingertips, guys. You just got to utilize the tools.
Exactly.
I love it.
The next one here is SMSac.com. That is who we use for our SMS text blasting. SMS text blasting is not dead, guys. It is still alive, and we're just doing really well. So SMSac.com, I love it. I'm more on the SMS side than you, but you get 500 texts for $1.
What does SMS stand for?
I don't know.
See, it's a good question. Anyways, it's super convenient, and it's very cost effective. And what I love about it, it's extremely scalable.
You know what SMS stands for?
Tell me.
Short message service.
See, gosh.
There's something new every day. But it's great. I think it's still one of the best ones out there. And that kind of brings us to the next one we use here. And this kind of more what we use for direct mail and just follow up and everything is CallRail. I think CallRail is absolutely essential. I think there gets to a point where a business is doing a certain amount of dollars per month that you need to be tracking your leads, your KPIs, changing area codes, where Google Voice is great, but we need at least 20 phone numbers. It's with all the virtual wholesaling we do, we got to record the conversations. CallRail's just, we need it.
So I'm very familiar with CallRail. So we, for full disclosure, I started out with Vumber, which the V stand for a virtual phone number. And, you know, it worked. It had a lot of very limiting features, and it was only like $9 a month. Yeah. And as the business grew, we needed more capability. So like quickly, if somebody's busy, if the phone doesn't get answered in 3 rings, you can roll it over to the next person, roll it over. And as I say, if the phone call gets to me, you know, we have a problem, but we get them answered either way. The other thing is you have the ability to record the calls. So if you're working with VAs, guys, if you're working with VAs, you have to use CallRail. It's because You can get it transcribed. You can get the recorded portion. And I learned this the hard way when you're using CallRail is when you're talking to customers. I used to have to pull over in the car and or sit down there and write everything. Yeah. And then I noticed when I taught Zach when he's like, I go, why aren't you writing it down? He goes, Dad, it's all recorded. So so he'd go back and play it and you replay it. And then, so I love it. So if Zach and the team run into a problem with a motivated seller, we play it back. I go, sounds like he's upset or and then you can kind of figure it out and then I can help with the approach. Guys, a valuable tool, and it's not even that much for what you get in my opinion. And you can scale it to your business however you want. You can make it as complicated as you want or simple as you want.
Boom. I mean, that brings us to the next one here is listrei.com. I think we used to be big list source people, and listrei.com it's changed the game. I mean, there's no more days of paying 25 cents a lead or something crazy like that. Listrei.com. I mean, it's a Drawing for Dollars app too. It's everything.
I think it's been one of the biggest changes we've put in our business. And I was skeptical when it first came out.
You were very skeptical.
So you guys know, I split test our list with ListSource, listrei.com. Listrei.com, in my opinion, it blew it away, and we got so much more value for it. Not only do we get our list, so basically 10,000 leads with it. We run all our comps through it, and it's a click of a button. And I can take someone that's never ever dealt in wholesaling, and I can click 2 buttons and I can give them a blueprint of what's going, and then they can see who the owner is. They can see what the potential equity is in the deal. They can see how long they own it. They can see what type of mortgage they have. It's absolutely insane how much. So the days of trying to scroll through, go to the property appraisers, go to Zillow. Now I go to one spot, and in 10 seconds, I have all the information. Oh. It's absolutely amazing. And you can run it through marketing campaigns through it. There's so much more you can do it. But I'm just telling you, just for that alone, it's well worth it.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
And the amount of time we save is disgusting.
The money and the market research insane.
Yeah, no, we cut our marketing budget by almost 40 and even close to 50% by doing it because we weren't paying so much.
The data's great, and also you can create a website on there. You get a free website, guys. If you're not at freewholesaling.com, it's all there. I can't stress that enough, but it's insane what you get for it. We can show you the whole tutorials and stuff. Also, this is a wholesaling video, but the creative finance opportunities it's insane for PropStream also. So I can't stress enough. It's amazing. You can also filter out on-market properties, which you could have never done on ListSource. Mm-hmm. That saved us at least $500 a month. I mean, we get at least $6,000 we save.
And talk about probate. It's one of my favorite lead sources, the highest profiting deals. They have a pre-probate strategy, which is, it's just really simplified our process. So anytime we can simplify things and make more money, I'm all in it. We're trying to share tools we use in our business today.
Yeah, it's such a blessing. We've saved so much money with it. It's the worst part about answering direct mail sometimes is someone say, "Oh, my property's on the market." It's just it's wasted money. Yeah. And we don't get those calls anymore.
And they have that filter. I'd have to go back and ListSource. I don't use it anymore. It's just the information is useless to me. I don't even think they had that filter on there.
They didn't.
So I would have to mail to people on the market, and I waste a lot of time and money. And there's nothing more aggravating than a realtor calling me trying to sell me a retail property.
Your favorite part about ListSource was you're able to draw a little map on it, and you're like, "Oh, listrei.com doesn't have them." I'm like, "Oh, here, look."
Yeah,
and then you're like, "Whoa!" So
and their map is much more detailed, and then you can, if you guys are, for those of you doing virtual markets, amazing. You can find your cash buyers with ease. They have a thing on there, the analytics, where you can find hot areas. And you can see where the growth is going. Yeah. So I always tell people, start in your own neighborhood, use the analytics in listrei.com, and you can see where the trend's going. And once you understand how trends work, you can take that to other markets, get the data, test it out. I always say test, and then you can scale with it.
Definitely. Remember, if you guys got no money for ListSource or listrei.com, government lists, it's the same type thing here. So number 2 is listrei.com. Government lists are still the same. The code violation department in our city and county, they are the goats. They're the ones driving around, putting stuff on lists for us. The clerk of the court, we get the probates to us. It's definitely still on there. Water shut off, utility lien, firehouses, all that stuff. And this brings us back to number one. This is the OG. We got to pay $15 a month for this, but for most people it's free, and that's Podio.
Mm-hmm.
Podio is probably the number one tool we use. That is the one we use every single day. I have the app. Just it's the best thing for management. Everyone wants to get this fancy schmancy type thing of, it's $500 a month and everything's automated perfectly and it's like it's so great. KISS, keep it simple.
So
keep it simple, stupid.
There's some amazingly smart people out there that can program it however you want. And I'm telling you guys, we did all that and we spent more time training, educating. I go, man, the CRM's more complicated than our entire business model. And so we scrapped the whole thing and we start over and we just said, hey, so what I can do is like when one of our sales guys, he's like, well, how do I get to the property? They ran out real quick. Maybe they got to meet him in a half hour. Boom. They click on their Podio. They click the locate button and it ties them to the maps and they get directions to them and they can get real time on when they're going to get there, just like any other GPS. I'm telling you guys, simplify it. So Podio saves the acquisition person from calling you with 19 phone calls like, how do I do this? Where's this? What's the offer? What do I do? And now that it's available on mobile, it's unbelievable. What's it called? It's 15. I think it's $14.97 or whatever.
It's like $15 for
$15,
unlimited.
Guys. Yeah.
It's crazy.
7-figure operation. So anybody trying to sell you a $500 setup and $300 a month, I'm just telling you, I find that the CRMs, I mean, there's a lot of amazing stuff out there. And don't get me wrong, they're really smart. But most of them they're trying to get you in for lead generation tools. And I want to focus on a CRM that does the CRM. Lead generation, we know how to do, and that's what we do best. Exactly. So don't mix the two up. Keep it super simple. Make sure it's got a mobile app so we're all on the roll. We're all virtual mostly. And I find it saves a ton of time. And once we eliminated, because if you think paying $200 or $300 is they're never going to be able to run your business. You have to run it. Yeah. So a CRM is to collect data, keep it organized. And really the most important thing with a CRM is, can you follow up with your customers? If you have 3,000 leads in there, how do you systematically follow up with them? And if you don't understand it and you don't understand it, how are you going to do it? You're going to have to call someone, get on a coaching call and figure out how to go through these steps to do it. Guys, if it's too complicated, you're not going to do it. Simplify your life. Podio is very simple. You can have Podio up and running in 15 minutes efficiently for any wholesale operation.
Freewholesaling.com has it all. Yeah. So this is what we can end it out with their bonus, freewholesaling.com. That's the best tool you're going to have. It's our free wholesaling course, start to finish. It's a $5,000 course we give out for free.
The most rich content course you can have out there. And guys, just take it. I believe everybody should learn wholesaling just like you learned your ABCs. It should be simple, it should be direct, and it should be free.
Boom. That's it, guys. So I appreciate it. These are the tools we use. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed one. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And
appreciate it, guys.
See you on the next one. Thanks,
See ya.
guys.